Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Football United TV. Today, me and Anthony will be talking about everything Europa and Europa Conference League from the round of 16, and we'll be talking about the quarter-final and semi-final draws as well. So, everyone, buckle your seatbelts. Let's get straight to it. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Football United TV. I'm Charlie, and I'm joined by Anthony. How are you, mate?
Not too bad, mate. And yourselves?
I'm not bad at all. Big up Matt in the chat, as well as Music United TV as well. We'll get straight to it then, starting with the Europa League. The first game being Leverkusen 0, Atalanta 1, with this game being 4-2 on aggregate. A late goal by Atalanta in this one. What's your thoughts on this game?
Well, it won a great game, but you can understand why Atalanta won. They obviously scored the goal. Like I said in the last stream, they've kept the clean sheet. It was a good aggregate scoreline. It's fair play to them. They've gone into the next stage. What we said about the next ties, and I couldn't remember what the next ties were. You'd have to remind me, Charlie, who they got in the next round, but
Yeah, we'll get to the draws at the end, so we'll just keep that quiet for now. Next up is big up Mel in the chat as well. Hope you're well, Mel. Next up, British side Rangers 2-1 defeat on the night, 4-2 on aggregate in the second leg. The goals starting with Red Star. Red Star's goals were scored by Ivanic and Nabu Hane, a late penalty with Ryan Kent scoring for Rangers. What was your thoughts on this game, Anthony?
You know what? Despite Rangers obviously losing the game, it didn't really make a difference because of the scoreline that was in the first game. To be honest with you, it was over in the first time. Let's be honest. And I think with Rangers getting this far, obviously quarterfinals into Champions League, you cannot. You can't argue with that at all. I think you would have actually predicted Rangers would get this far into the competition. They're dark horses in this one, underdogs or whatever it is you want to call them. But I think they've done really well, and I think I can remember who they might have in the next round. And basically, if it's the team I'm thinking of, they got a very good draw into that one, and I could see them winning that game as well.
Yeah. Next up then, Galatasaray 1, Barcelona 2. That was 2-1 on aggregate as well, with Marcal scoring Galatasaray's goal, Pedri and Aubameyang scoring Barca's goals in that one. What was your thoughts on this game, Anthony?
Well, to be honest with you, the first game was boring, but it was a 0-0 won it, and obviously you expected Barcelona to win that one. But I think, obviously Barcelona winning this game, it was most obviously good for them going into next round. I feel that with Barcelona they slightly improved now. Obviously getting the ex-Arsenal player, the striker Aubameyang. He's sort of coming on leaps and bounds now. The more games he's playing, it's just like the more goals he's scoring. So You know, I think that was a player that they needed. They've got him, and I mean, just look at it now. I think they're doing well as well in the league. You know, as well. They're fourth. So yeah, I think Barcelona could. I think you might be looking at maybe semi-finals, maybe a finalist. Whether they're going to win it, I don't know.
No, I'm not sure either, to be honest. Next up, Monaco 1, Braga 1. That game was 3-1 on aggregate, with Disasi scoring Monaco's goal, Abel Ruiz scoring Braga's goal in that one as well. What was your thoughts on this game, Anthony?
Shocking, really. You would have thought Monaco would have put up a better fight out of the two teams. You would most probably favour Monaco, but it's like what I said. Braga's played well. The aggregate scoreline says that, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it might be them against Rangers in the next round. So you know, if that is, I can see. I think Rangers as dark horses. I think they can do that. I think they'll beat them on the night.
Yeah.
So over the two legs, obviously. So I think Rangers be good, and they'll obviously go into the next round.
Yeah. Next up, then, Frankfurt 1, Real Betis 1, 3-2 on aggregate, with Frankfurt's goal being scored by Rodriguez in the last minute of the game, and Iglesias scored for Real Betis as well in that one. So what was your thoughts on this game?
Well, on the last stream, I said obviously this tie wasn't over. My favourites. I think I said in the last stream I favoured Real Betis to obviously have won this and go into the next round. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be. I think with Frankfurt, you've got to give them credit where credit's due. They played well. You know, obviously there was more. Obviously, it was more in the first game than what it is than what there was in the second game. Real Betis held back a little bit. They did have good attacking opportunities from what I've seen. So I've seen the clips on this one on YouTube. So you know, I think they did have a good chance to actually win this game, but obviously taking the tie into extra time. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was. I thought it would have been that, but unfortunately, it wasn't to be. But with Frankfurt, you couldn't argue with what they'd done. You know, they played some good, decent, attractive football. So you know, I mean, fair shout to them. And obviously, going in the next round, whether they continue this form. But you know, obviously, we're going to the late stages now into this competition, and unfortunately, we're going to see obviously some more teams going out. But
Yeah,
I got a favours maybe an sort of like an underdog getting to the into the finals into this Champions League.
Yeah. Big up Marley in the chat as well. Hope you're well, mate. And next up, Lyon 1, Porto 1, 2-1 on aggregate, with Dembele scoring Lyon's goal, Pepe scoring Porto's goal. What was your thoughts on this game?
Well, it was a good win for Lyon. You know, I mean, both games. It was a tight game in the first and second game. So you know, it was a good game to watch. To be honest with you, there were spells that Porto did have in the game that they actually could have won this game. You know, from the highlights that I've won, they could, if they put their chances away, they could have won it without a doubt. But I mean, all credit to Lyon, obviously winning the game and going through. But it's like what I keep saying, these games are going to get tougher now. So you know, you've got to respect the teams that are winning now and going into the next round, because obviously someone's going to lose, and I think the teams that are going to go out are, on some of them, not all of them, but some, I feel the teams that goes out is the teams we don't expect to go out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And the final Europa League game before we go to the Conference League, West Ham 2, Sevilla 0, 2-1 on aggregate, with Soucek and Yarmolenko scoring West Ham's goals in this game. What did you think about this one?
All credit to West Ham. Seriously, all credit. I know the first game was 1-1. You know, obviously West Ham was away. Obviously, we don't go on the away goals now, do we? Because I think the away goals that's been scrapped now. So, you know, I think credit to West Ham and David Moyes. You know, he set the right team out. The tactics were right, spot on. There's you know, their style of play and the way they played the game. They played really well. You know, there was quite a lot of attacking going on in this game. Obviously for West Ham. Sevilla, I thought it would have been a hard game for West Ham, knowing that Sevilla were second in their league. You know, they're just behind, obviously just behind Real Madrid. But you know, I mean, all credit where credit's due, and it's nice. It's nice to see an English teams go well in that competition as well. So all credits to West Ham and David Moyes.
Yeah. Into the Conference League then. Just before that, Chelsea fan has said, "What a win for West Ham! Fair play to them."
Yeah.
So into the Conference League, the first game being AZ Alkmaar 2, Bodo Glimt 2, 4-3 on aggregate, with Pavlidis scoring both of AZ's goals, with Pellegrino and Samsted scoring for Bodo Glimt in this one. What were your thoughts on this game?
Well, it was a good game. Obviously, 2-2 is an entertaining game. I think, to be honest with you, it was most probably better than the first game. But I mean, winning 4-3 on aggregate, fair shout to them. I think I said this before on the last stream. I don't think I've heard of this team before. Although I never heard of them. So I mean, fair shout to them for winning. But it's like what I keep saying: these teams that you don't really expect to do well in the Champions League, or maybe teams that you've never really heard of, you know, they're really going for it now. And it's the top teams that seems to be coming out the Champions League into the Europa League, and then they're gradually they're coming out of that as well. You know, they're losing games. So I mean, you can't underestimate these underdogs, to be honest with you. So they're doing really well at the minute.
Yeah. Next up, Basel 1, Marseille 2, 4-2 on aggregate, with Ndoye scoring for Basel, Kengizunder and Rongier scoring for Marseille. What were your thoughts on this game, Anthony?
It's pretty much the same in the first leg. You know, I mean, it was a good win for Marseille. I mean, obviously, I would have personally expected this scoreline. Obviously, coming from a Marseille team as well. Obviously, winning going into the next round. I feel that they're really picking up in this competition, Marseille, and it's hard to really pick a winner at the minute. But you know, I think the semi-finals are going to be really good. You know, in this game as well. I mean, it's quarters at the minute, but you know, I could really see Marseille being a strong contender in this competition.
Yeah, definitely. Next up is Copenhagen 0, PSV Eindhoven 4, 8-4 on aggregate in this one, with these goals for PSV being scored by these goals were scored. Zahavi scored 2, Goetze scored 1, and the Englishman Noni Madueke scored 1 for PSV as well. What were your thoughts on this game, Anthony?
I mean, if you look at it, going back to the first game, who would have thought it would have been 4-4?
No.
Let's be honest, you wouldn't have thought it would have been 4-4. I mean, it was a fantastic game to watch. You know, I mean, it was a bit poor on both defensive sides of both teams, but in the first game. But I mean, this second game, I did say PSV would score 4 in this game. The other team may get 1 or 2 at push, but unfortunately they got none. But as the scoreline on the aggregate score on 8-4, I think you can't fault PSV. I mean, they're strong contenders as well, and it's really hard at the minute to pick two teams to go into the final, because you pick those two teams to go into the final, I guarantee you one of them won't be in it.
Yeah. Simple as that, really. It's
Yeah,
so unpredictable,
it is.
European football. Big up Luca in the chat.
Yeah,
And
Luca.
Matt says that should have been a lot closer. Yeah, 4-4 in the first leg and then 4-0 in the second. The next game, English side, Rennes 2, Leicester 1 on the night. 3-2 to Leicester on aggregate, with Beograd and Tait scoring for Rennes. Wesley Fofana, the Frenchman, scored against the French side for Leicester. What was your thoughts on this one, Anthony?
I think, to be honest with you, in the first tie, obviously, because Leicester won 2-0 in the first leg, you could have pretty much said it was roughly over in the first leg, in the first tie. Then, obviously, things got a little bit tricky within this game. And obviously, with Leicester scoring their goal, which made them 3-2 aggregate winners going into the next round, I think fair play to Leicester for doing this. The problem is now, I mean, they still got Jamie Vardy out. I still think he's out for a few weeks yet, and he seems to be doing well without Vardy in the squad at the minute, just in this competition. Obviously, not the Premier League, but I feel that obviously when he comes back, I've actually tipped Leicester. For me, I've actually tipped them to be definitely in the finalists. Basically, could they win it? They could. I think this is the only way that they'll have a good season this season, is if they actually win this competition. Because, in all fairness, they're not really going to do nothing in the league. I think the highest that Leicester is probably getting the league, looking at their games left, what they've got, is most probably, I think, by 10th position, maybe 11th at the most. So I think they've got Brendan Rodgers has got to tell the players and get into their heads, look, this is the only thing that's left for us this season. Let's go out and do it. So, but they can. But I feel that they can.
Yeah. Next up is a goal fest. Feyenoord 3, Partizan Belgrade 1 on the night. 8-3 on aggregate, with Dessers, Nelson and Linson scoring for Feyenoord. Gomez scoring for Partizan. What was your thoughts on this game, Anthony?
Well, it was good. I mean, obviously winning 3-1, but that aggregate scoreline, blimey, I think it was 5-2 in the first leg, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, it was, it was good first game, good second tie as well. Obviously Feyenoord were the favourites. I mean, obviously the Dutch league, but I think they're quite, they're roughly up round by the top, Feyenoord, if I'm not mistaken, in their league. So, I feel that, they're a good team in this one. I don't know if they got maybe a lot there to win this, but it's like what I said. It's hard because you look at these score lines in this game compared to the score lines in the first game, and obviously on the aggregate score, Feyenoord team, they are a good squad. But where you think of it, have they got that drive to get them into that final of this Europa Conference League? You never know, and it is all tricky. Obviously, depending on the ties that they got, sort of thing. So it's luck of the draw, basically, in my book.
Yeah. Feyenoord are currently third in the Dutch Eredivisie, so Ajax and PSV are the two teams above them, who are both, of course, doing well in their respective competitions. Apart from Ajax, of course, who got knocked out the Champions League by Benfica. PSV went through though, and we have already talked about them. So next up, Gent 1, PAOK 2, with former Huddersfield man Laurent Depoitre scoring for Gent, with Crespo and Augusto scoring for PAOK. What was your thoughts on this game, Anthony?
Well, it was a good win, obviously, for PAOK. Obviously on that one, and obviously the scoreline in the aggregate scoreline, obviously winning 3-1. I feel this PAOK I didn't really think nothing much of them. I mean, fair shake for getting them this far, into the stages of this competition, but they haven't really got nothing there to obviously go on and win this competition, I feel. So depending obviously on the draw they got in the next round, but I feel that they'll most probably go out. I think they've gone as far as what they can.
Yeah.
But I mean, fair shake to them.
Yeah. Next up, another goal fest. LASK 4, Slavia Prague 3. With LASK's goals being scored by Weisinger scoring 2, Grubber and Schmidt, with Olayinka, Bar and Saw scoring for Slavia. They, of course, won 7-5 on aggregate, with the first leg being a 4-1 win for Slavia Prague. What was your thoughts on this game?
Well, it's like what you said, Charlie. It's another goal fest, isn't it? I mean, the aggregate scoreline obviously says that itself. It's 5-7. It's like what I said. These Slavia Prague teams, and and the other one, they're really going for it, aren't they? I mean, you wouldn't think they'd go far into this competition, but I mean, fair shake to them. I thought that they're going to be they're going to get, obviously they'll get as far, they won't win it, but they'll get as far as they can in the competition, and they'll most probably be happy with themselves. Look, so obviously we got to think this Europa Conference, it is a certain standard, a certain level, is what your team is. So you can't argue with them, and teams like that, you just wish them the best, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. And the final game, Roma 1, Vitesse 1. Roma winning 2-1 on aggregate, with Vitek scoring for Vitesse and Abraham needing to score a 91st minute equaliser in the game to send Roma through and avoid extra time in that one. So what was your thoughts on this game?
I mean, obviously with Roma, I mean, fair shake to them getting that late goal from Tammy Abraham. I think that's obviously Roma needed that, but obviously they did leave it a bit late into the game. But to be honest with you, I think with Roma, I think they're not a bad side. Mourinho's he's got the players in there. Obviously, what he signed this season. I think that he's trying to bring a different style of Roma to what when we was watching them years ago, sort of thing. Obviously in Serie A, but I think that that is good. This is a team that it could possibly be a finalist in this team. I think they might be one of the finalists, and obviously with Leicester as well. Obviously, like what I said, always depending on the luck of the draws. I'm not too sure who Leicester's actually pulled. So, I mean, it could be. I mean, they might have one another. I don't know, but is I think they got a good, strong team. They're sort of well balanced within this competition as well. It's like what I said, because Roma's, all these teams got their own standard and strengths, and obviously deserve to be in this competition as well. So it's basically this one. I think in this competition alone, that it's quite an hard one to call off in this one.
Yeah. And that's all the games that have been played. So we'll move on to the draw. For starting with the Europa League, we'll go through each game and it through the semi-finals as well. So we'll say who we think will play who in the semis. So the first game being RB Leipzig against Atalanta. What's your thoughts on this one?
I mean, that is going to be a good game. You look at it there. I think two good teams, both got strengths and obviously weaknesses. If it was me, I would most probably say maybe Atalanta. I mean, they might be the slightly underdogs going into this game, but I think the underdogs are doing well at the minute. So I'll most probably say Atalanta to win the first leg, draw second leg, and then most probably go into the next round.
Yeah. Next up is the British side, Rangers. They've got Braga in this competition. How do you think this game will go?
Well, when I look at it, I think it's two dark horses playing one another. Do you know what I mean? They are. It's two dark. Who would I favour? If it was me, I'll favour Rangers. I think it all stems back from the Borussia Dortmund game when they beat them, 4-2, and then the second leg I think was 2-2. So I feel that I think Rangers just edges it for me there, and I think with their manager Van Bronckhorst, I think he's done really well there at the minute. So he seems to be. I think the players enjoy playing for him. They understand his philosophy and tactics as well. So I think that's what's given the players that extra drive for him. Obviously he's helping that. So yeah, I'll have to say Rangers win this and go straight into the next round.
Yeah, and so these two teams will face each other. It'll be the winner of RB Leipzig against Atalanta against the winner of Braga against Rangers. So you've said it will be Atalanta against Rangers in the semi-final. How do you think that game would go?
Well, if it was to happen, I think. Do you know what? I think anything can happen in that. Obviously, anything can happen in that game. I think personally, I think over the two ties, I think it'll end a draw. And I think it most probably that game will most probably go into a penalty shootout.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a big call there.
And
the other side of the Europa League, the first game being Frankfurt against Barcelona. How do you see this game going?
I think the way you'll have to. I think you'll have to favour Barcelona there. I mean, the scoring. The Aubameyang seems to be on fine form for them at the minute. They're fourth in their league. So I mean, Frankfurt obviously for me is the underdog in that game. I mean, these underdogs are doing well at the minute, but I don't think Frankfurt has got what it takes at the minute to outdo Barcelona. So I feel that Barcelona will go through. I don't think it's going to be high-scoring games on both legs. I think it'd be maybe, I don't know, a 2-1 win and a 1-1 draw, or or 1-0 win in the next game. So, I don't think it'll have lots of goals, but I favour Barcelona to go through on that one.
Yeah, and the other game is West Ham against Lyon. How do you see this one going?
I think it does seem that is our game for West Ham. I would like West Ham to win and go through. Obviously, being the English team, I do like to, even though with my team I support are not in Europe at all. I do obviously win for the English teams, but I think if West Ham was to go through on this one, I mean I could be wrong, but I think this game would be a penalty shootout, and West Ham will win on penalties.
Wow. So you've said the other semi-final will be Barcelona against West Ham. How do you see that one going?
I think Barcelona win that. I think Barcelona, West Ham, well, they'll give them a game. They'll give them a good game. If it was these two to go, obviously, into the next stages, I don't think West Ham will go down without a fight, though. You know,
No.
they'll try and give them a fight. Play decent football. It's over 2 legs. To be honest with you, if you're going to draw a game, you want to draw it home. Away. You want to draw away first, and then obviously take the tie at home and have your home advantage there, and give them a hell of a game and give them a good game. But out of the two, I would most probably favour Barcelona to beat West Ham.
Yeah. And then on to the Europa Conference League. The first game is Feyenoord against Slavia Prague. How do you see this one going?
Feyenoord.
Yeah.
Feyenoord, Silver Prague, they'll go out now. I think Feyenoord will. They'll win that. I think this game will have. I think in the first game, I think Feyenoord being in. I think I'll go for a 3-1 win to Feyenoord, and then in the second leg, it'll most probably be something like a 2-1 win to Feyenoord, with Silver Prague scoring in their own ground. But yeah, I find Feyenoord going through comfortably on this one.
Yeah, and you're saying Feyenoord will face the winners of this game, Bodo Glimt against Roma. These two actually were in the same Conference League group, and they've ended up drawing each other again in the knockouts, with these results being a 2-2 draw and a 6-1 win for Bodo Glimt at home against Roma. Do you see Roma changing in this game? Will they be going through?
But yeah, I look at that. I didn't know that scoreline, to be honest with you, but I gotta be honest with you. I'm gonna favour Roma in this one. I mean, I think Mourinho, tactical wise, he almost probably bring up when he played against them last. You know, he'd be watching the videos, jotting down his notes, making the players, his team watching that game and saying, look, you can't play like this. And he's basically gonna hammer the team, to be honest with you, before the game, and saying, look, this is what I want. You've got to deliver this if you want to win obviously win the trophy. So, I think that's what Mourinho would do, and I think Roma will win, but I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game, and it's not going to be a walk in the park for Roma. But I think they're just going to edge it and scrape through to go into the next round.
Yep. So you're saying Feyenoord against Roma in the semi-finals. How do you think that game would go?
Well, to be honest with you, with goals-wise scoring, I think Feyenoord has scored most goals, haven't they? Most probably because I don't know whether it's the luck of the draw at the games that they've been playing. But listen, you play what's in front of you, So I think anything can happen in that game. I feel that. I think Feyenoord might win that game. It depends if Mourinho, if he wants to win this competition. Do you know what I'm saying? If he wants to win it, he can. If he feels it's up to them if they want it. Basically, I mean, they could go on to the final, but winning it is different story. Is obviously a different story altogether. So, it'd be two good teams battling out, playing good football against one another, and you just say good luck to the one that wins. But I think in those two, in my opinion, I think Feyenoord might just edge it over Roma.
Really? That surprised me. That has surprised me. And the final path of the Europa Conference League, the English side Leicester will be facing PSV Eindhoven in the next round. What do you think about this game?
It depends. I mean, because obviously Leicester against PSV, that's going to be a hard game for Leicester. And also, Leicester's got to play well. Depends if Jamie Vardy's back at this time. I mean, obviously, Leicester being in, you want them. You obviously being Leicester, you want to win at your own ground, you know. So even if it's 2-0 or 2-1, you know, by 1 or 2 goals, you've won at home, and then obviously take the game obviously away. You most probably want to you'd be defending more away than attacking, but you'd exploit the attacking opportunities, trying to nick a goal. Obviously, I feel that this is going to be really hard for Leicester. You know, I think it. What helps is if Jamie Vardy comes back, and if he's back in time for this game. If he's not, then it could be. I favoured Leicester to get to the final though, but
yeah,
it's all what happens on the night is what it is. You know, I think Leicester should really go for this one. To be honest with you, I mean that's the only chance they've got for this season to end their season on a high is to win this competition. But sorry, I'm going to say Leicester. I'll favour Leicester in the English team and all.
And the other quarter on this path, Marseille against PAOK. What are you expecting for this one?
Marseille win.
Yeah.
Marseille win. Hands down, they'll go through. I don't think it's going to be lots of goals in this game. I think I think it won't surprise me if the aggregate score would be something like 4-2 to Marseille. You know, most probably winning both ties 2-1 and going into the next round. So yeah, hands down for that one. Marseille definitely go through.
Yeah, so you've said it'll be Leicester against Marseille in the semi-finals. What do you think of that one?
I want Leicester to win.
Yeah.
I seriously, I want Leicester to win. Whether it's an aggregate score of 1 goal, whether it's going to be, 2-1 on aggregate or 3-2 on aggregate, whatever, or even if it's on a penalty shootout, I just want Leicester to win this and get to the final, at least get to the final. Leicester City.
Yeah. So that's it. We've covered everything: semi-finals, quarter-finals, and round of 16. Just before we wrap it up, where can we find you, Anthony, mate?
Right, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at my name, Anthony Herbert. You can also find me on SVT TV. You can find me on Football United TV. Make sure you click and like and subscribe to both channels. I mean, Steve does a good job on his own channel. Matt and Cuz does a good job on theirs. So big up Charlie if you're still watching. And also, you can find me on the Dugout Daily, which is, I've got to get this right. Is my finger right there? Yeah, just along there.
Yeah, just there.
And make sure you click and like, subscribe to that channel as well, especially on Friday nights, because we do talk about everything football, and it's good, and it's a good stream.
Yeah. Cheers for coming on again, mate. So you can find me here, Football United TV, on YouTube, where we talk everything Europa and Europa Conference League. My channel is Dugout Daily. That's my football channel. Hit the Apex is my F1 channel. At MCFC Hibs on Twitter. And yeah, we will see you all soon. We will be talking about the quarterfinals of the Europa League. So everybody, take care until then. And make sure to subscribe here at Football United TV. Everybody stay safe and have a good rest of your evening. Goodbye for now, everyone.
Bye.